Welcome to the channel. Today we explore the shocking moment in the British royal family when Princess Kate appeared in a glamorous manner wearing one of Princess Diana's most precious jewels. This iconic item not only attracted attention, but is also said to have shocked Queen Camilla. What is really going on? Let's find out right away. Do you think it was a calculated move for Princess Kate to appear wearing Princess Diana's most precious piece of jewelry, or just a coincidence? If you think it was intentional, leave a 1 in the comment. If not, leave a 0. Don't forget to enjoy the video and leave a sub to support the channel to produce more interesting royal content. The Duchess of Cambridge wore a tiara that I think says a lot about the new royals. When Kate appeared in public wearing Princess Diana's most precious jewel, all eyes were on her, but one pair of eyes were filled with tears. Queen Camilla stood still. The necklace had belonged to Diana, a symbol of love and pain. Seeing it on Kate was like seeing the past come alive. "It feels like Diana just walked into the room," someone whispered. Camilla's smile faded. Her heart was filled with memories too heavy to express. "Why her, why now?" she asked quietly as the cameras clicked. No one saw the silent story in Camilla's eyes, but it was big enough to break her heart. Diana's Love Not Tiara and the silent crown war that preceded it became the cause of royal whispers and tensions. The Love Not Tiara has a story full of love loss and deep meaning. It wasn't just made to sparkle, it was made to say something. Long ago in 1914, Queen Mary requested that it be made. "Make it like my grandmother's," she said. The pearls and diamonds were carefully placed, each meant to shine with emotion, not just beauty. Years later, Queen Elizabeth II gave the tiara to a young woman named Lady Diana Spencer. It was a gift on a special day in 1981, her wedding day. "Welcome to the family," the tiara seemed to whisper. So how are we to understand the jewels on display at Westminster Abbey last Friday, and especially the ones Kate Middleton wore as she walked? Diana wore it with a heart full of hope. At first it looked like a tiara from a fairy tale, but gradually it became something else. The tiara followed Diana everywhere, to royal dinners, long trips, and large crowds. It sparkled for the world, but it also hid her pain. Smile for the cameras, people would say, but no one saw her silent tears. The tiara was heavy not just with jewels, but with sadness. It was like her armor, one said. Beautiful, strong, but lonely. Yet Diana wore it with pride. Even in difficult times, she showed up. People began to see more than just diamonds. It was her crown, they would say. It became a symbol of her courage. No matter what happened when Diana wore the Love Not Tiara, the world saw her standing tall. After her tragic death in 1997, the tiara disappeared. It was stored away as a memory too painful to touch. Not yet, some whispered. For years, no one wore it again. It lay silent and still, like the love and pain it once carried. For nearly 20 years, no one saw the Love Not Tiara. It lay hidden in a velvet box, like a secret too precious to touch. The memory of Diana was still fresh, and people said, "It's too special to wear again." The tiara became a treasure from the past, silent, still waiting. Then one evening in 2015, something unexpected happened. Catherine, Princess of Wales, stepped out wearing it. People gasped. "Is that Diana's tiara?" they asked. "It's more than fashion. It's like magic. It's like Diana is with us again," someone whispered. The tiara sparkled again, but now on a woman the world had come to love. Kate wasn't wearing it just to look pretty. Her choice was powerful. It stirred deep emotions in people's hearts. She walked gracefully, and for a moment the world saw two princesses, one gone and one continuing the story. It is a symbol of love and strength, many said, but not everyone was happy. Queen Camilla stood watching. Her heart was heavy. For years she had waited silently. She had faced blame, silence, and cold stares. Yet she remained by the king's side. She also wore magnificent jewels, jewels that had belonged to Queen Mary and Queen Elizabeth. But one crown remained out of her reach. It was the knot of love. When Queen Elizabeth II died, people wondered who would receive which jewels. Everyone thought Camilla would get the best. She's the queen consort now, they said. But when it came to Diana's tiara, it didn't belong to her. It belonged to Kate. No one expected that. Some said the late queen had chosen Kate on purpose. Others whispered, maybe Charles had something to do with it. Whatever the reason, the tiara went to Kate, and Camilla could only stare. Catherine didn't just get the Love Not Tiara. She was also given other beautiful treasures, like brooches, earrings, and necklaces that had belonged to Queen Elizabeth and Princess Margaret. These weren't just shiny jewels. They were filled with stories. Camilla, now queen, also received some. But the ones that really touched people's hearts, the ones filled with love and memories, were given to Kate. It's not just about the jewelry, someone whispered. It's about trust. Many believed that sharing these heirlooms was more than just tradition. It was like saying, you carry our hope. Now Kate was more than just a queen. She was the face of a new kind of royalty, kind, warm, and beloved by the people. Camilla, despite her title as queen, was often in the background. Her jewelry sparkled, but her presence was not as bright as a light. Then came the fateful night that changed everything. At a major royal event, Catherine wore the Love Not Tiara again. Cameras went crazy. Flashes lit up the room as her picture spread like wildfire online. People were amazed. She looked so much like Diana, they said, not because she was imitating Diana, but because she carried the same quiet power. The tiara sparkled on her head, and memories of Diana filled the air. Camilla was there too, wearing a different tiara, but few noticed. Her jewels sparkled, but they said nothing. Kate's tiara told a story. Camilla's just looked pretty. The difference between them was obvious. Kate's tiara had history. Camilla's did not. Social media was filled with comparison photos of the two. People smiled and called Kate the new people's princess. The love was real, and Camilla felt it deeply. She had waited a long time, endured many hardships, but was still overshadowed. That evening was not just about dresses and crowns, it was a turning point. Kate stood tall, calm, and respectful. She did not replace Diana. She honored it. The crown, once filled with sadness, now shone with hope. Camilla had tried to win people's hearts for years, but the truth was cruel. The crown chose Kate, someone whispered. The public did not just watch, they made a decision. Camilla wore a crown, but Kate carried a legacy. So how did Kate receive Diana's most precious relic? And why did it make Queen Camilla cry the night Catherine took center stage? The evening was supposed to be a joyous affair, a grand dinner at Buckingham Palace filled with beauty, tradition, and glitter. It all looked like a dream. Gold plates glittered on tables, soft music played in the background, and the palace was ablaze. It was meant to be a celebration of unity, grace, and royal pride. But what happened that night was more than a royal feast. It was the night everything changed. The event began like any other elegant gathering. Soft music drifted through the air. People in shiny shoes greeted each other with polite smiles and warm greetings. Guests from many countries had gathered. Their laughter rang like little bells, and glasses rattled. Everyone waited for the royal family to arrive, dressed in their finest, and wearing jewelry that told stories from long ago. Then Princess Catherine walked in. She moved slowly and calmly. Her dress was lovely, but no one looked at it. All eyes were on the sparkling tiara on her head. The Love Not Tiara, the same one Diana had worn, the same one filled with memories of love, sadness, and strength. When the lights came on, the diamonds danced. The whole room fell silent. She looked so much like Diana, someone whispered to Duchess Kate, paying tribute to her late mother-in-law, Princess Diana. Kate wore Diana's favorite tiara at the biggest royal party of the year. It wasn't the first time Kate had worn the tiara, but tonight, it felt different. The event was bigger, the attention was bigger, and the tiara felt more powerful than ever. People weren't just seeing a princess, they were seeing a story, an emotion, a memory relived. A moment later, Queen Camilla entered the room. She wore a beautiful dress and an exquisite tiara, but her steps were unsteady. Her smile was stiff. Her eyes found Kate and the tiara and then quickly looked away. She saw it, one guest whispered, and it shook her. The mood changed slightly. It was as if something invisible had just passed through the room. The party continued. There were speeches, toasts, and music. But beneath the happy faces, something was different. The air was heavier. The glitter couldn't hide the change, and behind every smile was a silent question. Has something just begun to change forever? Camilla had waited years to become queen. What did you think of the moment Kate appeared wearing Princess Diana's iconic jewelry? Was it a tribute or a statement of status? If you think it was a tribute, leave a comment with the number 2. If you feel it was a statement of power, leave a comment with the number 5. Don't forget to like the video and hit the subscribe button to continue following the fascinating stories from the royal family. She walked through the storms of gossip, the harsh words, the people who didn't want her there. But in the end, she stood beside the king wearing a real crown. It was supposed to be her moment to shine her reward. But something was wrong that night. No one was looking at Camilla. Their eyes were elsewhere. They were looking at Catherine and the crown. It wasn't just any crown. It was the Love Not Tiara, full of diamonds and pearls, full of meaning. It had been worn by Diana and before her by Queen Elizabeth and Queen Mary. It had seen love, sorrow, and strength. Diana had worn it in moments of happiness, but also when her heart was broken. The crown weighed heavily on her head, but she still smiled. It gave her power. Someone once said, when Catherine wears it now, it's not just to look pretty. It's a wordless message. It says, I remember, I honor, I stand too. Camilla may have felt small in that moment. It was never mine. She may have thought the tiara had passed her by completely. When Queen Elizabeth died, everyone expected Camilla to receive the most important jewels, and she did. Necklaces, brooches, and glittering treasures from the past. But the love knot went to Catherine. Some say the Queen made that decision herself. Others believe it was planned all along. Either way, the message was clear. This is for Catherine. In royal life, once a tiara is given, it stays with you forever. So when Camilla saw Catherine wearing it that night, she was heartbroken. She would never wear it again. It wasn't just about diamonds. It was about being loved, about being chosen, and about who was considered the heart of the royal family. The moment Catherine walked into that room wearing Diana's tiara, everything changed. People whispered, she looks so much like Diana. Not because she was trying to, but because she was calm, kind, and graceful, just like Diana had been. That tiara didn't just sparkle in the light. It made the past more relatable. Camilla looked beautiful too. Her dress was perfect and her jewelry sparkled. But something was missing. The spotlight wasn't on her. The room didn't stop for her. People didn't whisper her name. On the internet, things happened very quickly. Catherine's image was everywhere. It really hit home how much the sport has done for our country as a whole. People were posting old pictures of Diana and comparing them to Catherine, the new people's princess, they called her. It was like a torch had been passed, not in words, but in light. Camilla stood silently smiling, but inside she must have felt bitter. After all she had been through, after all the years she had struggled to be accepted, she was still in Diana's shadow. And now she walked beside her son's wife, who carried that legacy without even trying. A crown is more than just jewelry. It is a memory, an emotion, a piece of people's hearts. When Catherine wore it, it was not just for herself. She carried history. She made people feel something real. Camilla had a title. She had a crown. But some crowns are invisible. Some are made of love, of memory, of quiet strength. That night proved something no royal title could. The people had chosen their future queen, and her name was Catherine. How Catherine received the knot of love. When Queen Elizabeth died, things began to change. It was not just the crown that was passed down. It was her personal treasures. Inside the palace, her royal jewels are carefully examined piece by piece. These are not just shiny objects. They are filled with meaning, memories, and royal history. According to strict rules and quiet traditions, each piece is given to a member of the family. Everyone thinks Queen Camilla will receive the most special pieces. After all, she is the queen now. But there is one piece, a powerful emotional piece, that does not belong to her. It belongs to Princess Catherine, the Love Not Tiara. Full of diamonds, full of history. It was worn by Princess Diana. Diana wore it in moments of happiness, but also when her heart was broken, which makes the tiara more than just jewelry. It's a symbol of love, strength, and sadness. When people found out Catherine now had it, they were shocked. How did she get it? They asked. Some people close to the palace say it's not about rank or rules. It's about something deeper. Queen Elizabeth and Princess Catherine have become close. They don't always show it in public, but behind closed doors, their relationship is strong. She's calm, loyal, and caring, the Queen once said of Kate. The quiet trust between them may be why the Queen chose to crown her instead of Camilla. Others have a different story. They say it was simply a matter of time before Camilla asked for the crown, and it was gone. It has been given, someone whispered. There was no going back. Regardless of which story was true, the result was the same. The crown was now Catherine's, and that choice sent a silent message through the royal family. Many believed Camilla would have it. She had worked hard, stood by King Charles, and faced years of harsh words from the public. Perhaps wearing Diana's crown might have helped her feel more accepted, more whole. But that moment never came. Instead, the crown, rich with memories, found its place on Catherine. And with that, the past quietly chose its future. It was not Camilla who captured everyone's hearts. It was Catherine. She stepped into the spotlight with quiet grace. The lover's knot tiara sparkled on her head as if it had always belonged to her. The moment photos of her wearing it appeared online, people everywhere felt something. She looked so much like Diana, fans whispered. The sparkle of the diamonds, the shape of the pearls, the way she wore it so delicately. It all brought back powerful memories. It was more than jewelry. It was a memory, a feeling, a piece of the past shining again. The world saw more than a princess. They saw history come to life. And in an instant, something that had seemed so insignificant, a simple sharing of jewelry, became something much bigger. It was more than fashion. It was change. Yes, Camilla was queen, but Catherine had something else. The love of her people. That love was powerful. It didn't come with a title, but it was just as important. She acted like a queen, some said, and inside the palace everyone noticed. The feeling was strong. For years, Camilla had been trying to win that kind of love. She had waited, worked, and walked a long, hard road. Now a younger person stood in the spotlight. And to make things harder, the one thing that might have helped Camilla feel closer to the people and to Diana, the love knot, was gone. It had been given to Catherine forever. Camilla wanted to remind people of who she was. So for her next big royal event, she made a bold choice. She wore the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of Queen Elizabeth's favorites. It was stunning. It was royal and deeply traditional. She's showing her power, one person said, but the headline said something else. Catherine was still the one everyone was talking about. People were sharing photos comparing Diana and Catherine. She's the new people's princess, someone posted. Camilla looked elegant, proud, and regal, but she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being overlooked. Her crown sparkled, but it didn't touch the heart like the knot of love. Catherine's tiara had a story, and people loved a story. The difference between the two women was obvious. Catherine didn't even have to try. She didn't talk about the tiara. She didn't show off. But even so, people felt something when they saw her. It was as if Diana's spirit was standing beside her. Camilla, even in her tiara, seemed to be hidden behind her. She looks so regal, someone said, but Catherine looks remembered. And that was what really mattered. In the royal family, titles and rules are important, but sometimes a tiara can speak louder than words. Camilla is honored, but Catherine is loved, and that love needs no title. Every time Kate wears the Love Not Tiara, she is not only beautiful, but also evokes memories, trust, and hope. The tiara, once belonging to Diana, now symbolizes a gentle and strong future. When Queen Elizabeth gives it to Kate, it is not just a piece of jewelry, but a story to be told. So how do royal treasures like this pass from one person to the next? Let's find out. Crowns may look like they came from a fairy tale, but in the world of royalty, they carry a deeper meaning. They're not just shiny crowns to wear for fun. In fact, there are strict rules about them. Rules that have been followed for generations. You can't just pick a crown because it matches your dress. The crown chooses you, a royal once said. And once a crown is given, it stays with that person forever. Only the king or queen can decide who gets the crown. Once it's given, it's yours for life. You can't trade it, you can't lend it, and no one else can wear it. That's exactly what happened with the Love Not crown. When Queen Camilla gave it to Princess Catherine, it belonged to her forever. That door is closed forever, someone whispered. Even if Camilla wanted to wear it again, she couldn't. The tiara now belonged to Catherine and only Catherine. These rules weren't just made up. They were part of ancient royal traditions that never changed. In the royal family, what you wear can speak louder than words. Every tiara tells a story. And once that story is embedded in a woman's life, it can't be told by anyone else. Tiaras are only worn on very special occasions. You'll only see them at grand evening events like royal weddings, state banquets, or formal dinners after 5 p.m. They're never worn during the day or at casual events. So when someone like Catherine or Camilla wears a tiara, it means something very important is happening. But the most powerful thing about a tiara isn't the diamonds. It's not the sparkle, it's the story, someone once said. And when Catherine wore the Lovers Not Princess Diana's tiara, the message was clear. She wasn't just wearing a tiara. She was continuing a legacy. It meant history, family, and love. For Camilla, not wearing the tiara wasn't just an option, it was something she couldn't do. The moment had passed and the rule was final. Another royal rule is that only women born into the royal family or married into the royal family can wear tiaras. Catherine followed this tradition perfectly. She wore her first tiara on her wedding day, just like Diana and Meghan did. That first tiara means more than beauty. It means you belong. Catherine and Queen Elizabeth share something very special. It's not loud or ostentatious. It's quiet respect. The Queen admires Catherine's calmness and kindness. From the beginning, Catherine showed grace, loyalty, and strength, just as Queen Elizabeth has done for years. The two women became close, and many believe that's why the Queen chose to give Catherine the love knot, not Camilla. More than just a piece of jewelry, the tiara has now become a symbol of a new royal future, more modern, more approachable, and more beloved. When Catherine wears it, she not only reminds her of Diana, but also shows respect and continues the legacy left by her mother-in-law. While Camilla, despite being the queen, has never truly touched the hearts of the public in the way Catherine does. Every time Kate appears with the tiara, people clearly feel the gentle but heavy transfer of trust, of memory, and of aspiration. It is no longer a debate about pearls or diamonds, but about the heart that the tiara chooses to attach to. Camilla's path was much harder. For years, people judged her. She was always compared to Diana. She will never be as beloved as Diana, some would whisper. Yet Camilla kept going. She stood by King Charles, learned the royal rules, and slowly earned her place. When Queen Elizabeth died, Camilla became Queen Consort, a title she thought she would never have. But even then, some doubted her. The past is not easily forgotten. In the royal family, jewelry is more than bling. It tells stories. And when Queen Elizabeth gave Catherine the tiara, it was more than a gift. It was a message.
I think the girls with their nails done now.
A silent message said, "She is the future." When Catherine first wore the tiara, people took notice. The diamonds sparkled, but the meaning behind them sparkled even more. "She looks like a queen," someone said. Camilla had worked hard. She had earned respect, but now all eyes were on Catherine. Her beauty, her grace, and the tiara on her head started quiet conversations. Some wondered, does Camilla feel left out? Others said the queen had made her choice. One tiara, one moment, and suddenly everything in the royal family felt different. The tiara may have been on Camilla's head, but it was Catherine who was carrying the story. There was no official statement from the palace, but whispers began to spread. Something was wrong. When Catherine, not Camilla, was given the famous crown, many were shocked. "Isn't Camilla the queen?" some asked. "Why doesn't she have it?" The decision made people wonder how things were actually decided behind palace walls. Some believed Camilla was expecting the love knot because she was married to the king, but others thought it had nothing to do with the title. It was about the message. One royal expert said Catherine was chosen for a reason. The public reaction was swift. Some were delighted, saying Queen Elizabeth had made the right choice. She trusted Catherine. They said they had a special relationship, but others were concerned. Is this a sign of tension between Camilla and Catherine? Is there a quiet power struggle going on behind the smiles? The royal family is famous for keeping their cool in public. But moments like this show that even they have difficult decisions and quiet battles. Royal jewels are not just beautiful, they are powerful. They tell stories, and they show who really belongs. This is not the first time the royal family has had disagreements over the crown. In the past, there have been fights over who gets what. These shiny objects have often caused real hurt feelings. Now, this new chapter has added to the old story tradition versus change. The real question on everyone's mind is simple. The answer takes us back to when it all began. The royal family has faced storms before, but this one, people say, felt different. When Catherine, Princess of Wales, stepped out wearing Queen Elizabeth's beloved tiara. It wasn't just about the sparkle and beauty. It was a moment that stirred old emotions, reopened silent wounds, and sent whispers echoing through the palace halls. "She's wearing that tiara," one royal observer whispered. And soon the rumors began. Was Queen Camilla upset? Did she wish she had worn it? Could a simple piece of jewelry really cause so much trouble? The answer, yes, because this wasn't just any royal crown. A crown is more than just a shiny thing you put on your head. It represents power, tradition, and legacy. Each one tells a story often spanning hundreds of years. Some are passed down from queen to queen. Others are worn only by brides on their royal wedding day. Who wears what and when is carefully decided. It is never random. But this tiara, this one is different. It was worn by Queen Elizabeth herself. It is not part of the crown jewels owned by the nation. It is from her personal collection, a collection that she keeps safe and close to her heart. She has worn it at special events like dinners with presidents and meetings with kings. This tiara is more than diamonds, says one historian. It is part of royal history. And when Queen Elizabeth died, her jewels were quietly divided up. Some believe the famous tiara will go to Queen Camilla. After all, she was married to the king now. That makes sense, people said. She's the new queen. But then Catherine wore it, and everything changed. There was no public announcement, no royal declaration, just a moment of photograph, and the world knew. The crown was Catherine's. Some were delighted. She's the future. They said the queen trusted her. Others were less sure. Was it fair? Was Camilla being sidelined because of her past? The queen has faced many difficult choices in her life. And some say that this one, though silent, spoke louder than words. She gave the crown not to a princess, but to the woman she believed could carry on the royal legacy. Catherine wore it for more than fashion. It was a message. Camilla, though queen by title, now stood beside a younger woman whose head bore not just a crown, but the love of the public. People saw more than Catherine. They saw memories of Princess Diana, elegance, and something timeless. She didn't need to say anything. A royal era sharing that crown said it all. And behind every smile that night, silence lingered. So was Camilla overlooked because of old controversies? Did the queen choose emotion over tradition? Only those behind palace walls know the full truth. But one thing was clear. When Catherine wore that crown, a legacy was passed on, and the world watched, feeling the weight of history in every sparkle. Catherine's journey through the royal family was quiet but powerful. She never rushed, never pushed her way in. Instead, she moved gently, winning trust with her grace and kindness. Queen Elizabeth noticed this. She carried herself with dignity, a palace aide once said. So when the queen gave Catherine one of her most special tiaras, the Love Not, it was more than a gift. It signaled that Catherine was an important part of the future of the monarchy. The tiara itself was stunning with diamonds and pearls sparkling like stars. But it wasn't just about beauty. The tiara had deep meaning. It had belonged to Queen Mary and then Queen Elizabeth and, most famously, Princess Diana. Diana wore it in her happiest and saddest moments. That's why when Catherine wears it, people feel something. It's like seeing Diana all over again, many say. When Queen Elizabeth died, her jewels were passed down. Camilla, now queen, received many beautiful pieces. She waited years to be accepted and worked hard to prove herself. The transition from Duchess of Cornwall to queen was not easy. She faced judgment, gossip, and comparisons to Diana. Catherine, on the other hand, blended in naturally winning hearts without trying too hard. Some say Camilla expected to receive the Love Not Tiara. But when Catherine wore it instead, the whispers began. Is Camilla upset? People asked. The palace never said anything, but the questions kept coming mostly from the public and the media, not from anyone in the royal family. In fact, royal jewels are more than just treasures. They represent power, trust, and legacy. Passing them on isn't just about family tradition, it's about choosing who carries on the story. Every time Catherine wears the tiara, it reminds the world of Princess Diana. She wasn't trying to be Diana, but people saw kindness, elegance, strength. She is herself, someone said. But the spirit of Diana is there. Camilla's jewels tell a different story. Hers is about perseverance, patience, and change. She is not trying to replace the past, just to represent her place in the present. But the tiara on Catherine's head is more than just a bling. It means that the monarchy is moving forward slowly, with grace, with memory, and with quiet strength. Many of the glittering pieces that Queen Camilla wears today once belonged to Queen Elizabeth II. This connects her not to Princess Diana, but to the deeper roots of royal tradition. One of Camilla's most treasured pieces is the Greville tiara, says one royal watcher. It was her favorite. The tiara was originally owned by Dame Margaret Greville, then passed to the Queen Mother, and then to Queen Elizabeth II. Camilla wears it often now, especially since she has taken on a more senior role in the royal family. The choice of royal jewelry always carries a profound message. Camilla preserves the legacy of the Queen Mother and Queen Elizabeth, remaining faithful to tradition. Meanwhile, Catherine often chooses items that once belonged to Princess Diana as a way to preserve memories. This difference does not create competition but represents two different paths, two different roles in the royal family. Although Camilla has the title of Queen Catherine, is more loved by the public, she represents the new generation, the future of the monarchy. When Catherine appears with the Love Not Tiara, an item associated with Diana, she not only brings beauty, but also evokes memories, creating a connection between the past and the present. A tiara is more than just a piece of jewelry. It tells a story of power, memory, and emotion. The Love Not Tiara was controversial as it was passed down through the generations. Now, when Catherine wears it, the whole world takes notice. Some admire her beauty, calling her the people's princess again, while Camilla seems to be overshadowed in her own role. No one says it, but the silence and the media's gaze clearly show the preference for Catherine. Each piece of jewelry she chooses is not only beautiful but also speaks to her personality and the message she wants to convey. Catherine didn't say much, but her crown did. As she entered the royal event with a calm demeanor, The image quickly went viral, evoking memories of Diana. While the public praised Queen Camilla, who had spent years building her image, was dragged back to her controversial past. The whispers on social media, the headlines, and the silence from the palace created a sense of quiet comparison. Even without an open conflict, it was clear where the public's heart was. Camilla felt hurt by the attention that was on Catherine. She had worked hard for the royal family, but old memories made it difficult for her to escape the shadow of the past. The crown was no longer just a piece of jewelry, but a symbol of affection, memory, and heritage. Catherine remained silent, but her gaze, her smile, and her choices spoke volumes. Every time she appeared, the world watched. The jewels did more than sparkle. They carried history and hope. Behind their beauty was a message: I remember where I came from. And so not all crowns were made of gold. Some were made of memory. Thank you for following. Princess Diana's jewelry not only has material value, but also symbolizes power and deep emotions in the royal family. Kate's choice to wear it at this time is certainly not a coincidence. Is this a gentle message or a strategic move? Leave your comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next interesting stories.